Thanks so much, J-Brad, for that introduction. Hi, Southland Division, aka the best division. My name is Helena Floyd. So, just to give you a bit of background on me, I am a student at St. Edward's University. So, that is down in Austin, Texas, and I'm studying forensic science, Spanish, and I play soccer. In regards to my Cutco background, I started at the beginning of May, just as a sales rep, doing my demos, phone jamming, things like that. Pretty early on, I learned about the opportunities for growth within the vector world, but kind of in the reverse order. I first heard about how young reps were opening their own branch offices during the summers. So my manager, Stuart, shout out Stuart, he was talking to me about this, and I was just, and still am honestly, just blown away by the concept. In my head, it felt impossible running your own business. So naturally, I wanted to know, how do I get there? I talked with Stuart more and jumped at the opportunity of being a part of Key Staff. So Key Staff is the step between being a sales rep and an assistant manager. I took on some office responsibility and I started field and cross training. That is what got me hooked, teaching new reps. So I submitted my AM application and bugged the crap out of Stuart about when I might hear back from the J. Brad Britton. So when I finally received the glorious acceptance email that I had been anticipating, I was absolutely thrilled, and here I am as an AM. So in this speech, I'm supposed to talk about what I've loved about my Cutco experience so far, and then I was given a 10-minute time limit. So I really have to be picky about what I share. But the first one is a no-brainer, but I love the people I work with. Any opportunity I get to talk about Vector, I always start with how much I just enjoy my work family. There's this odd thing I've noticed about Vector, and it's that it establishes such a strong connection between each individual. When I attended staff meetings, team meetings, book clubs, conferences, it always feels like we've all just known each other for years, even if it is through a computer screen. There is something that is so different about Vector, and I truly believe that it's the uniqueness in every individual that is connected through each one of our experiences with Cutco. So previously, I worked at the Home Depot, and at a job like that, everyone shows up just to earn a paycheck. Here, the Vector family is hardworking, motivating, and inspiring. I mean, just in the GroupMe culture, I love seeing the energy everyone has in that group chat. Everyone is so goal-oriented and encourages others to be as well. More personally, I have to shout out my Santa Monica team. Where y'all at, Santa Monica? I see y'all. Stuart really is the best at knowing each member on his team and picking dedicated, hardworking people. I haven't come across a single person that doesn't just overflow with passion and excitement about this job. The second thing I've really enjoyed about my experience so far are the boundless growth opportunities. Let's take a second. I want each of you to really think about how much you have learned and developed during your time with Cutco. Whether you've been with us for 5 years or 6 days, think about how you as an individual have grown. Isn't it amazing? For me, during that time of reflection, I always think about how awful I was at public speaking. Voice shaky, clammy hands, just an all-around bad experience. I think about how I've become so well-spoken, confident, and most exciting to me, I think about how I've learned to influence others. So this summer actually has been very eventful for me in regards to my range of influence. I am a college soccer player, so I've been working out every day at this elementary school field in my neighborhood. Maybe a month into the start of my Cutco job, after practice one day, I was approached by this lady. I was worried that I was going to be yelled at for hopping over the fence into the field. Instead, she asked if I could give her daughter lessons. This little girl is 9, and the mom talked to me about how she's got the natural athleticism. It's just getting her to train on her own. When she was talking to me about her concerns about her daughter and some of her daughter's habits, I was just thinking, wow, she sounds exactly like how I was at her age. Yesterday, actually, was our last training session before I leave for school. But you guys, I am so proud of her. I mean, I can already see that she's just fallen in love with the sport. She practices on her own, comes to practice with ideas for drills, and gets there 15 to 30 minutes early before I get there. The only reason I was able to help her was because of my experience with new Cutco reps. From recruiting, field and cross training, and running interviews, I've learned how to effectively communicate, listen, and take what I've learned and share the foreign concept with someone else. The most rewarding part of all of this is seeing the growth in reps that I've taught or given some type of advice to. When I field train a new rep, there is always a high level of nervousness. Sorry, I'm going to call you out, but one of my most memorable moments in field training happened when I was scheduled to watch Michelle Frankel's demo. I texted her to set it up, and she was worried she'd get fired if she did bad. Of course, I teased her a bit, but I assured her that she would not get fired. She expressed to me how nervous she was about this demo. Unfortunately, it was rescheduled, but she then asked me to stay on Zoom while she phone jammed. So she allowed me to kind of coach her through this phone jam. Her voice was a bit shaky, but with every number she dialed, those nerves turned into excitement. A couple weeks later, she's on the phone, and I couldn't even recognize it was her. Is this Michelle? Her once quietly nervous voice was steady and profound. I was amazed at how much she developed in such a short time. Obviously, I was not the only reason she was more confident, but to even imagine that our short amount of time together on Zoom had any impact at all is just, it's exhilarating. So thank you so much, Michelle, for that opportunity. So I wanted to be an AM because of the scope of influencing tons of people and because of how this position just brightens my future. I am working towards opening my own office branch next summer, and as an AM, I'm learning the ins and outs of running a business. How cool is it that I can put on my resume that I've interviewed 50 applicants for the #1 new district office and a $250 million international marketing firm? It's crazy. Actually, just a couple days ago, I interviewed an applicant that just blew me away. So during the interview, she explained that she had sold Girl Scout cookies since she was 4. With that, she talked about how grown, successful businesswomen of color would come up to her and take the time to not only express the pride that they felt in seeing her work so hard, but to talk with her about their own experiences as female persons of color in the business world. She told me how it inspired her at a very young age and that she wanted to do the same for future generations. When I asked her how her experience with Vector would help her in the future, she talked about starting her own company that manufactures and sells medical machinery at an affordable price to hospitals. That way, treatments that include those machines are administered at a lower price. Of course, she did get the job, for those who were wondering. So her responses were very humbling and inspiring to me. It prompted me to reflect on my why, my goals, and how my experience with Vector is preparing me to go out into the world and make a positive impact. I encourage you all to do the same. Think about how you can give back. You've been blessed with this opportunity. How are you going to positively influence others the way Cutco has for you? So this opportunity, it has been so impactful for me. So I want as many people as possible to take advantage of this. That's why I leaped at the opportunity to manage the social media marketing campaign for my office. I know some people maybe aren't smart enough to take it, but they can't say they never heard about it. So to conclude, if you have any desire of becoming a better person for yourself or for those around you, I highly encourage you to take advantage of the Leadership Academy. Get with your managers and express your interest in becoming key staff in AM or even branching. It is all possible. The world needs more leaders and better ones. So if you want something to change, it has to start with you. What steps can you take to make the difference you want to see? Speaking of which, it is our time for our division to secure the Silver Cup. Every order, demo, and phone call matters. So go all out and be a part of the story. So thank you guys so much for your time. Little Spat Spread out.